Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go a story titled, I Found Messages Exposed My Wife's Affair. Am I the a-hole if I divorce her? And a shout out to the dude that sent me this story. I forgot to write your name down, but you know who you are. And guys, this is about a young guy. He's 26, only been married for a little over a year, just bought a house, and how nice, just found out that his wife's cheating on him with a coworker. And of course, this guy's torn apart. However, the guy follows Reddit. He's heard these stories, so he knew what to look out for, and he knew how to handle things upon it. And he's handling things quite well. But still, he's having some doubts. Am I going too far? And you're going to see that actually she claims she only kissed the guy. Ha ha ha. I'm sure her mouth was doing a lot more than just kissing. And of course, he's wondering if he's overreacting, is the a-hole, but deep down, I think he knows. And I'm going to go over here, guys, to show you that you always have to pay attention to red flags. And once a cheater, always a cheater. And if someone's cheating on you, and yes, making out with your fucking coworker is cheating if you're married, you have a right to kick him to the curb. And if not, it's going to come back and happen again and again and again. And you should not let yourself feel like the bad guy in this situation for doing what you got to do to take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one truly going to take care of you. Really. It's sad, but it is the fucking truth. So anyway, guys, this is definitely a good one. So jumping into it, he says, hey guys, just yesterday I found messages of my wife texting her coworker saying, I miss you a lot. Can't wait to see you. Merry Christmas. Babe, I love you. And now I'm broken. This will probably be a long story. For context, I've been together with my wife, let's just call her Ashley, for 4 years and married for 1 year and 2 months. In August, we purchased a house and couldn't be happier. We both work, but I got a small part-time job to make some extra money. Well, that's a lot in the first paragraph. Okay, so they've been married for 1 year and 2 months, together for 4 years. And by the way, in the comment section, he mentioned that he's 26. Young. So they got married when he was 25, give or take. And now he finds out after they buy the house, she's talking to some other guy and these sweet messages and I love you and all that shit. Between August through October, we started drifting apart since we would not go out as often because I essentially work 6 days a week, and 3 of those days I essentially work from 8 to 9 p.m. 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. At times when I had the afternoon off, I would go to the gym for an hour, leaving her alone even on the days I had time to be with her. During those months, she occasionally brought up about wanting to go for a walk, go out, etc., but I was often tired after the day. I will admit that I know I hurt her by doing that. Okay, so this is a classic situation where, okay, they got a house, they got bills, and anybody that owns a house knows darn well that, especially if you buy the house, yeah, reality sets in about you gotta fix this, you gotta fix that. Property and the property insurance, the homeowner's insurance is going to go up. The property taxes may be higher than you expected. All these surprises. So he's taking an extra job, working his tail off to take care of the family. And I commend him. The problem is that he's spending less time with his wife, and now she's starting to feel neglected and not loved. And when that happens, all of a sudden bullshit starts. This is why communication is key. So she's unhappy. She needs to communicate in a way the guy understands so they can find an understanding and a happy medium here. Around the same time in August, she began talking with her coworker, Jason, who is in a situationship and has a child. A situationship and has a child, huh? The first rumor at work was that they were dating and had a thing for each other. My wife works at a place where everyone gossips about everything. Let me guess, they work in a restaurant or a hospital. The first red flag was that he called himself her work husband. My wife decided to mess with her coworkers, going matching with him on a spirit day. I called her out on that, but she said it was nothing. Yeah, so all right, so I guess this is all what happened prior to him seeing the message in the first part of the video here. So already shit's going on, and this is, of course, when you call her out on such things. Time passed, and they began talking a lot, texting each other all day. When she brought up her feelings about feeling alone and unloved in October, I also confessed I felt depressed due to working a lot, not having time, and not being there for her. I started changing to be better for us, but every time I did things right, she was bringing up something else that we could argue a lot about. So he's making the effort to try to improve upon things. Then she's finding something else she's not happy about. The old joke about you can't ever make women happy. But I think also at this point she's having her affair with what's-his-face and is now looking to pick fights and everything. I always felt something was going on between them, but she assured me it was nothing. Before I continue, I have to say the next sentences might seem out of order, so bear with me. Okay. Well, by the way, notice he's saying here, obviously he's noticed that she's talking to this guy a lot. That ain't good. That is not allowed. It is one thing if it's truly about work. And something true about work doesn't require texting all the freaking time. And she's talking about this guy. This is a problem. He says here in early December, so this is this month, during an argument, I asked her that if anything were to happen between them, would she tell me or keep it to herself to not lose the friendship? I asked 4 times, but she never replied. Well, her silence gave you an answer. And in fact, he asked her 4 times, she couldn't reply because she didn't want to reply. Time to start figuring out an exit strategy, dude. You haven't been married that long. A few days later, I brought it up again, and she said she was sorry for not answering sooner and broke down. Oh, for God's sakes. It says in parentheses, now I realize that she didn't reply when I first asked her because something had already happened. I honestly tried to be better for her. I couldn't do it 110%, but I tried. Now let's get to yesterday. We drove around the city to see the Christmas lights. When we came back home, she got inside and forgot her phone in the car. I always wanted to check her phone, but I didn't feel right about it. Smack! Always these fucking guys say this. If she's showing you all these examples that something's going on, you have a right to check her phone or computer. However, this time I had a feeling I should. I opened up their conversation, only had to scroll a few messages to when I saw the I miss you a lot, Merry Christmas, babe, I love you so much, etc. text. I've read so many wife cheating stories, so I knew what to do. So I took a picture of those messages. Good for you, dude. Even though the thing is, at this point, it sounds like he's not that surprised. Already things were going on, already there were red flags, and he's already been hearing material like this online. As soon as I did, she came outside and I showed her the phone. I could see the panic in her eyes as she asked me to come inside. As soon as we did, she broke down and, as every cheater, began apologizing nonstop. Here we go. Right from the hoe bag handbook. The waterworks, the I'm sorries, I'll do anything to change. It was a mistake. All that bullshit. I can't type everything that was said, but she used the cheater phrase, why did you have to look? To which I laughed at the audacity. Yeah, instantly. How dare you go through my phone? There was a lot of arguing and crying was done. I was smart enough to record the audios of almost all our conversations. Smart dude. Very smart. That way he can't be accused of anything. I will say that I released all my anger in form of words. Not once did I push it. not once did I push or hit or anything like that. I laughed and made sarcastic jokes all while she was crying. Oh, that made it worse for her. She asked why I was doing that, to which I replied, you cheat on me, I'm hurting, this is how I cope with pain. I asked her how long, when did it start, etc. She admitted it started a bit before Thanksgiving, that while I was working, she went for a walk and Jason met her there. He did the first initial move, but she pushed him away and said it was wrong. Yeah, I can tell through her actions she thought it was so wrong. However, they met up again on a different day, and this time she kissed him first. So essentially, while I was working to provide for us, in her loneliness, she was seeing another guy. Oh, the cliche. The sad, sad cliche. I began accusing her of sleeping with him, meeting behind my back, etc. As much as I pushed it, she said that SCX never happened. They met a few times, but she didn't tell me the amount. You're cheating on me. You're lying to me. You were doing all these things, and you really expect me to believe you now. There wasn't any SCX going on. At the end of the day, there's cheating, but of course, the best thing she could do is be honest with this guy at this point, not insult his intelligence, but she's not. And all they did was kiss and make out. Yeah, sure, honey. According to her, they both knew it was wrong and wanted to stop, but couldn't. She admitted she fell for him because how he would treat her. Yeah, and if she was with this guy, then she probably would complain they didn't make enough money. The freaking audacity is that supposedly all this time he was just a friend giving her advice to solve her issues, and that he said, I wish y'all would work things out while freaking meeting with my wife. As I type this, I'm laughing just as what... Okay, he wrote this bad, but he's laughing about this whole thing. I told that he could have her multiple times, that we were getting divorced, etc. Good for you, bro. I'm sorry this is happening, but you're handling this very well. I'm having a lot of stories lately with these young guys who have become educated by hearing these types of stories online, are not handling these things right when they discover up to no good. This same guy may have, a few years ago, would have just given her another chance because he didn't know any better, but he's learning. She broke down every single time. Of course. I took down our Mr. and Mrs. ornaments on the tree, lowered all our pictures together, and left my ring. Oh. She asked me to sleep with her, to which I said, fuck no. Why would I want to be in bed with you? You're going to be crying all night and trying to hug me. Fuck no. Eventually, I went to sleep in the bed, and she stayed on the couch. But later, she went to bed and started wanting to hug me and kiss me. I was so tired that I didn't even fight it back. Smack! That's what she wants. She's like, I got to get myself pregnant right now before he divorces me. Honestly, guys, there's a lot of details from last night all the way to when we had issues, etc. And I'm sorry if everything seems out of place or if you feel like you need more details. What hurt me the most is that for the past month or so, I was trying to change for us. I even offered to quit my second job. I love her a lot and do things she liked, had Christmas dinner with our families, and told me she loved me, all while she was thinking about him. It just hurts. Yeah, exactly. Worst part is that we were going to leave tomorrow on a trip with my family, and I plain told her that she isn't going. Well, now she knows your family's going to be like, where's Jessica? I thought Jessica was coming. And now she knows you're going to tell them. And Jessicas don't want to hear, Jessicas don't want accountability. They don't want the public to know what those Jessica types are. Yes, Jessica is my universal name I use for cheating hoe bag. She had told me previously that she needed a trip to find herself, regardless if I was going with her or not. Holy shit. Really? A trip to go find herself? And are we to believe that she's going to go on this find herself trip by herself? Please, she's going with her coworker. Now, I told her that I am the one that needs to be away from her. She mentioned that apparently the guy wants to start going to church, and we recently started going again, so that they need to stop because they can't be going to church while doing these things. I told her 2 sinners wanting forgiveness, just like that, huh? As of yesterday, I told her we are getting a divorce, and if there is a chance of staying together, our families will have to know. To which she broke down and pled not to. I really need advice on this. She assures me they only kissed when they met, nothing else. So this guy, even the smallest possibility they would move on and stay together after all this, he said, well, the family's got to know. And she's like, nope. That tells me just exactly how much she doesn't give a shit about this guy. Please give me advice on how to manage this. I might be overreacting a bit since it was only kissing, but it's the lies and deception I cannot get through. If there are people that went through this, similar things, what did you do? And if you stayed, did things eventually work out? However, with all this being said, am I the a-hole if I leave my wife? Smack! No, you're not the a-hole for leaving your wife. And by the way, the story isn't over yet, guys. We're just getting started here. No, dude. You know, if you've been listening to this type of content, you've been reading these stories, you know darn well what happens to the guys that stay with their cheating wives. It doesn't work out. Okay? She'll go right back to doing what she's done because she knows darn well you're not going anywhere. In fact, it'll be worse. You've been married to her a little over a year. That is small potatoes. You are 26 years old. Okay? He mentions his age later on in the comment section. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're 20 fucking years younger than me. Believe me, you got your life ahead of you. I would talk to a lawyer, find out your options, whatever hit you may take, which I imagine shouldn't be too much. Well, you did buy a house together. That's going to be the complicated part. Because obviously you're not going to have a whole lot of equity in the house, except for like what you put for the down payment down. And if you're that young, probably wasn't a very large down payment. You're going to have to deal with that. But other than that, find out your options and get out of there and move on and learn from all this. But the thing is that his situation, money's tight, new house, he took on a second job, he's working all the time, and now she's feeling neglected, not loved. And okay, nobody should feel neglected or not loved, but this guy was doing what he had to do to take care of the family, as a man should. The problem was there's no communication going on, and she wasn't communicating to him in a way that he understood, and when he saw there was a problem, he was trying to fix things, but too late, she's already involved. How cliche. And now she doesn't like to have to deal with the consequences of her actions. Now some more information here. So anyway, dude, you're not the a-hole, divorce the bitch. Now, so more info here. He says, I cannot believe the amount of responses I've received in just under 3 hours. He has a lot. I really appreciate the comments, even the mean ones. I don't have an update since we were both working and I haven't had time to talk to her since. I will just add some other stuff based on the comments. Also, I'm 26, she's 27. Forgot to mention that. Now here's more details. He says, number one, supposedly this affair started before Thanksgiving and they only met a few times at the park. I have security cameras, so I don't know if she brought him home. At least I hope not. 2, I asked her to show me her phone, but she denied because she didn't want to hurt me anymore. Okay. I know we're all going to have a laugh at that comment. Today I'm going to ask her again to show me her phone. Don't even bother, dude, because I guarantee she wiped her phone of all evidence that could hurt you. The fact that you didn't want to show you because she didn't want to hurt you, what does that say? I can't imagine what's on her phone. There's probably pictures of her doing many, many things other than kissing. Probably with her having a hot dog eating contest with his you-know-what. 3, she stopped feeling loved and loving me because she told me at times, even last night, that she wanted me to help her fall in love with me again. I really tried. Maybe I failed at times, but how could she fall with me when she was falling with someone else? Exactly. 4, as per me leaving on the trip, it's a family trip we take every year with the extended family. Therefore, I didn't want to take a cheater with everyone. Yeah, don't take her. Why should she get to enjoy that? Why should you go on this trip and suffer, having to be quiet and pretend nothing's wrong? 5, everything is difficult because we bought a house recently and we just financed a new roof, so that's an extra strain. Ooh, yeah, a new roof? That's a hit. 6, yes, I know what I should do, but I have my doubts and don't know if I have the strength and will to do it. So that is the end of his thing, and I'm going to read a few comments to wrap this up. Bro, you are stronger than you realize. You're just a young guy, and you're, this is sadly happening to you young without a whole lot of life experience. But there have been guys that have been through worse situations and gotten through it. I would tell your family, control the narrative, tell your family, tell people, your friends, let them know what's going on, tell her family, frankly, and see if you can get advice from men who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, because it's likely you're going to have people in your family, like maybe your mom or your sister, you never know, or friends, they're going to say, it was just kissing, or she made a mistake, or she was feeling lonely. And that type of things happen in the first year when it's all new. And basically, because they don't want you to break up because they're used to you being together. You could have a mom who's dying to be a grandma soon and thinking more about herself than you. But hopefully you can find some male in the family, like an uncle or godfather or somebody, or your dad, and give you advice saying, no, it's over. And talk to a lawyer. I know money is already tight on paying the mortgage and the extra loan you're paying because you had to finance the roof being fixed and all those other things. But find out your options and end it. And hopefully it won't be taking too much of a hit. But the thing is, it sounds like neither one of you on your own could probably afford to live in that. Maybe you could afford to live in the house on your own if you got it, but probably not her. So it may sound like that house may end up being sold, but since you just bought it, you're not going to have likely a whole lot of equity in it. So that's going to be a problem. But I think probably you, because you're a workhorse, could live in there on your own. So hopefully you get to stay in the house, and you may have to buy her out for whatever little equity is in the house or something. You work that out. But other than that, you don't have any kids, thank God for that, and figure it out and move on. And do not buy her waterworks. Do not buy the guilt and the shaming you're going to get from her family, her friends, anybody else saying it was just a kiss, she was lonely. No, because you take her back, I guarantee you this bullshit is going to continue, and she won't respect you. End of fucking story. But I will say this in the future, because you're a relationship guy, if you have another woman down the road, definitely, you really got to work on the communication skills, okay? I mean, what she did was terrible, but she was clearly unhappy. That's the thing. You weren't happy either, but you did what you had to do to pay the fucking bills, You weren't asking her to take a second job. I didn't hear anything about that. In fact, I don't hear much about her job at all. So, in the future, you got to work. You got to do what you got to do to pay the bills, take care of the family, but also be aware that there are women out there, they feel like you're not there with them. They feel unloved. And you got to talk, you got to communicate. And even if you're working out your ass off all the time, you got to find some time for her. Otherwise, I'm just being honest here. Because, yes, gentlemen, I've been in relationships and long ones, and I get it. Now, a few comments. We'll wrap up this story. One guy says, your kissing is cheating, and she is a cheater. She lied to you and then blamed you for looking at her phone. All the signs were there. I think you need to get ahead of this. Tell both families as soon as possible. She's going to spin her story that you were never home, working all the time, never wanting to do anything with her. You need to get the truth out. Find a lawyer. Do not leave the home, otherwise it's abandonment. You don't have kids, so that's good. Do not sleep with her, because then she'll get the idea you want reconciliation, which I don't think you want. Be civil to her, short responses, no major conversations, good luck. Yeah, exactly. So now he can stay in the bedroom, lock the door, don't let her in. She's going to try to sleep with you, and that will harm your case, and she may try to get pregnant. Think about this. She could go fuck her coworker and get pregnant with him and sleep with you and say, it's yours. Now we can't get divorced. And certainly if she's pregnant, she'll get the families to pressure you not to leave her. Guaranteed. Stay away from her. One more. This guy says, not the a-hole. Number one, they definitely had sex. She just won't tell you that. You don't say babe and love to someone you just kiss. Adults don't just kiss unless maybe the first date or so. Definitely not in affairs. They're already doing wrong, so withholding sex isn't practical. 2, you're working a lot, and after 2 months of living in your new home, she starts cheating? 3, regardless, her coworkers knew immediately. It's been going on before Thanksgiving. Your work schedule was just an excuse. She wanted him and liked his advances. Even if you worked 40 hours a week, she still would have cheated. It's not hard to shut a man down. And number 4, in the final one, he says, time to go. Your wife is on sloppy seconds. She didn't last long in the marriage. There's likely a bigger issue she has with you, and she'll likely never express to you. You also have to now question if she had cheated before this more obvious situation. And if you don't divorce, you always wonder if she's cheating again. Exactly. Yeah, who's to say she wasn't always cheating on it? I mean, it's reasonable to question these things. So anyhow, brother, good luck to you. Guys, if you see any updates to this story, let me know how it goes. But I'm pretty sure he's done with her, but we shall see. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it. If it definitely works, I'll cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.